It seems that Disney is finally coming to terms with the fact that the Snow White movie is going to be a complete and utter disaster for them because they've canceled their UK Snow White premiere amidst backlash and fears of negative Rachel Zegler press. But there is also a video online going viral of her and Gal walking next to each other to present an award at the Oscars, and they look like they hate each other. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, things have not gone that positively for this Snow White live action adaptation, as I'm sure that you all know. In the past few have been massive failures for Disney. Mulan came out and it did not make them any money. You had The Little Mermaid, which faced a ton of backlash because, of course, they race swapped Ariel, but they also had decided to go in a new, wacky, strong woman direction where at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, I guess, they have Ariel take down Ursula when in the original animated, the whole point was Eric saves Ariel and her people, and it proves to King Triton how much he loves her. They did away with that, and we know they're doing something similar with Snow White. They've toned back the romance quite a bit. They've even put in a younger actress so that Snow White is still prevalent in this story, but Rachel Zegler is on screen a little bit less, and the lead up to this film has been a disaster. They've delayed it. They've tried their best to send Rachel Zegler into interviews, but you just had her do so much damage last year that no PR team could fix the mess that she's made, and now Disney is seemingly giving up. So Disney's live-action Snow White is shaping up to be one of the studio's most troubled releases in recent memory, and now a major red flag has appeared. The company has canceled its planned Snow White UK premiere, reportedly due to concerns over backlash and controversy. Instead of a star-studded event in London, Disney will hold a small number of tightly controlled press events, an unusual move for a film with a 200 million plus budget and massive marketing campaign. We don't know how much money has been put into this, but from what we have heard, it's like $400 million, meaning they probably want it to make $1 billion easy. And that is, what Disney typically wants their movies to hit, don't get me wrong, but I think that they were hoping with the 1 year delay and the reshoots that people would kind of forget about Rachel Zegler and what she has said in the past and some of her interactions with Gal. But over the past 2 weeks, since they've really started ramping up the press tour, things have just gone terribly. According to sources, Disney is concerned about a backlash tied to the changes made to the film, as well as the public perception of the lead actress Rachel Zegler. Just a few days ago, of course, we did have the big Hollywood event, and Rachel Zegler and Gal were presenting an award together. They were on stage together, and when they were walking across this stage together, it's like Rachel could not wait to get away from her, and Gal was just so offended that she was acting in this way. And you might think to yourself, it's a little bit of an over exaggeration, right? All they're doing is walking. But in my opinion, the body language really does speak for itself here. And with the way this post has kind of gone viral, it really just goes to show that I'm not the only person that thinks that they just detest each other. Look at how Gal full on leans away from her. Bro, why is she walking like this? Vince McMahon's entrance. I thought she was really walking like Jar Jar Binks, but that's okay. They're both very fitting. Is it weird I find Zegler kind of attractive, like nowhere near Gal, but kind of cute? Every time I think that it's pure ice and venom coming off the screen, Zegler looks like a petulant child, and Godot gives off IDGAF energy. I just think that Gal realizes this movie is not going to be a smashing success, and I think that she realizes every single time Rachel Zegler does anything, she just makes herself look worse, and that's kind of a good thing for Gal because Gal can make herself look like she is a more elegant, classy woman. So it's kind of just, you have this established, seasoned actress versus this petulant, annoying, egotistical child, and the difference could not be more stark here. But going back to the article, it talks more about how if Snow White were a highly anticipated blockbuster, Disney would be doing everything possible to build excitement. Instead, they're avoiding potential negative reactions from audiences, which implies they know the public sentiment isn't in their favor. I think it would be impossible at this point for Disney to not understand that Rachel Zegler is a pretty hated woman in Hollywood right now, and that she really has damaged the reputation and the image of this film. I mean, look at the way that she acted just a few years ago. She has been widely criticized for her comments dismissing the 37 classic, referring to it as dated, and describing the prince as a guy who literally stalks her. She also has expressed open approval of the film's original themes, particularly the romance, saying that her version of Snow White isn't dreaming about true love, but is instead focused on leadership, which is so infuriating because it's like they're saying themes like love and trust are bad things, which is so terrible. The reason why you had so much romance in those kind of original Disney Renaissance films is because of the message you got out of them, that you can trust people, that love is a good, wholesome, positive thing. And we even saw that in something like Frozen, where it wasn't romantic love, but it was sisterly love, but you still got the same point across because love is important. But when you have an actress who says the love is bad and that it's creepy that a man fell in love with a woman, of course you're going to have millions and millions of people who do not take her seriously. And this all falls in line with the very terrible estimates at this point. The movie was initially expected to open with 63 to 70 million domestically, a disappointing figure for a film of this scale even back then. However, now updated projections have it dropping even lower to 53 million, with the low-end estimate at 48 million. Considering its budget, it is rumored to exceed 300 million due to extensive reshoots. Snow White would need to gross at least 600 to 700 million globally just to break even, an increasingly unlikely outcome. And judging by the way that people have completely rejected this film, I don't think it's going to get even close to that. I mean, every teaser and trailer has been negatively ratioed. Their primary one from only 2 months ago is sitting at 1.1 million dislikes, which is a really crazy number. So while, yes, there might be a few Disney diehards out there who will go and watch this, and some parents who think that their kids are going to enjoy this experience, I don't think it's going to get even close to the amount of money that they've expected to make. And hey, it is Disney, so maybe people will actually just still show up and they won't care about what Zegler's had to say, but I do think that she has genuinely pushed a lot of potential customers away, and it's just looking really terrible for them at this point in time. They recognize the fact that she's not liked, so they've canceled the UK premieres amidst the backlash and the fears of negative Rachel Zegler press, plus these videos of her and Galler going viral for all of the wrong reasons. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.